drug driving and that. Okay? So he's been driving a black car. He's impacted with this vehicle here. Okay? The motorcyclist that you've seen the firefighters carry out, he's dead. There's nothing we can do about him. He's been killed as a result. Okay? What the police will do now is obviously investigate that driver, investigate the crash scene, see the factors, the reasons why, and like I said in the presentation, their job is to go to that motorcyclist family's home and tell them they're not coming home tonight because they've been killed. Okay? We've got a young female driver in the vehicle, and basically she's got spinal injuries. So what we've got here, we've got a Palmatro pump, and what we have in there is Palmatro oil, okay? And obviously we've got a lead there, and the lead connects to the big pair of scissors. We call it the jaws of life, okay? We will have approximately 10 to 15 minutes to get that casualty out of that situation. Sometimes, if the conditioning's worsening, we'll have up to probably 3-4 minutes to get that casualty out, okay? Obviously, we can see the paramedic supporting the driver inside the truck. She's got oxygen to keep her breathing. We'll calm and reassure her. All firefighters are trauma trained, okay? So if the ambulance aren't there, we're not trained to deal with traumatic situations. So if we deliver first aid, we will do, okay? Driving. That carries a sentence of up to 14 years in prison, okay? So you can imagine, when he comes out of prison, he's going to have a criminal record, and he's going to find it very hard to get a job. But more importantly, guys, in that, if you get to driving ban, so before, if you went to prison, you used to get a driving ban for, say, 5 years. You used to serve it when you was in prison. Nowadays, if you get a driving ban and you're sent to prison, you'll do your sentence, and then your driving ban will start from the day that you leave prison. So it's going to impact on your employability, it's going to impact on your choices, your family, your friends, etc. So, like I said in that presentation, it's not short term, it's long term as well. So what they're doing now is working as a team. They're putting up a C-post. Okay, so we've got 3 different types of posts here. We've got the A post at the front, we've got the B post where the seatbelt is, and we've got the C post. So what they're doing is, they're putting at the C post, they've got that big mat there to stop any debris flying. Obviously you can see our PPE, our personal protective gear. We've got a tunic on, we've got our leggings on, we've got a helmet on, we've got our visors down, okay? We've got to think about our own safety before we risk obviously putting ourselves at lives at risk as well. So we have to think about our personal safety, we have to think about obviously the casualties safety, and then think about the general public safety as well. Obviously you can see the holes there. There could be some road traffic collisions that we attend, the car may be on fire. We may not be able to see it visually, we may smell it, but we need to have the holes there in case the car explodes or there's a fire developing inside that vehicle, so obviously we can extinguish that fire. And if you think about it, guys, right, back in the day, firefighters had to be big, strong guys, okay? We've got loads of female firefighters, so we've done a recent recruitment looking for 60 new firefighters across the West Midlands, and it actually closes today at noon, okay? So if you can imagine, you have to be physically fit, mentally you have to be switched on, but if you've got this attitude like, oh, you got to be big, you got to be physically massive, it isn't, okay? You can be as small as myself, but you can be effective, because a lot of the work that we do in terms of the fire service is round about prevention-based activities. So 40% of our work is going out and engaging with communities, like what I'm doing with you today. 5% is training, 15% is recovering from mental illness, from seeing those traumatic experiences. Only 3% do we actually respond to any emergencies. So if we get a call, we'll respond 110%. But in our duties over a year, it's only 3% that will need to respond because of all the prevention-based activities that we do, not just with young people. We also target mentally ill people. We also target substance misuse, so that could be drugs or alcohol. We also engage with homeless people. We engage with migrants. Every group in the community we'll engage with, and that's the majority of our work. So if you think the fire service, we just wait on the fire station and we turn out, we don't. We actually engage in our communities to try and keep you safe, because we don't want it to get to this position here, because we know you're then at risk, okay? You may lose your life or you may lose your independence, but if you make good choices, you're going to create good opportunities for yourself, okay? So like I said, pre-plan your journey ahead. If you're going out and you're consuming alcohol, okay, think about when it's safe to drive again. Always put your seatbelt on, and remember, if you get a phone call, ask your passenger to answer the phone, or put it in the glove compartment, or put it on silent so you won't be distracted. If your mates are getting a bit rowdy in the car and they're not listening to you, you may have to pull over and explain to them the dangers. You may ask them to get outside the vehicle. Good choices, good opportunities. Bad choices, bad opportunities. Or no opportunities, sorry. What you can see now is we're putting the windscreen, because as you can imagine, when we put all the different posts there, we need to cut the window screen so we can lift the roof off, basically, and do it. And anything, any part of the vehicle that we cut away, we'll always put it safely away from where we're working. Because if we put it where we're working, we may trip, we may slip, we may cause further injury to people around us. Like I said, inside there, this is an ideal situation. All the cars on all four wheels, okay? Imagine if it's on an embankment, okay? We've got to call out our technical rescue unit, okay? They'll come, they'll bring the equipment, okay? We'll have to carry all this heavy equipment down to the scene in a bush, okay? In a valley, wherever it may be, okay? So what we can see now is the paramedics have got in through the space creation. Now we're assessing, obviously, we've reassured the casualty. We're waiting on the fire service now to do a few more cuts, and then once we've done that, we can obviously get the casualty out safely. Now, because she's got a spinal injury, we're going to have to put her onto a spinal board, okay? So what we'll do in a few minutes is, all of us will get in the car, the paramedic, all the firefighters, and we'll have to lift her, get her onto a spinal board, keep her in a neutral position, and get her out of the vehicle very safely, but very quickly, because she needs to get to hospital to be assessed. That driver in custody, he could be going through different emotions. He might be crying because he's realised the impact of his actions. He may be obviously upset by his actions, thinking, well, I could have made that choice. Why did I make that choice? It was simple. That was the easy choice. Now I've got hard choices to make. Alright? So he'll be sinking in. He'll be sinking in. We'll go with like real terms. And what you can see, guys, we've got a barrier, we've got some portions in place, okay? That's to ensure that we can work very safely, okay? We're protecting you. So if this was like a chemical incident, say there was some chemicals in that vehicle, or it was a lorry, what would happen is that cordon would go to right outside there, probably about 100 metres, 500 metres, because after the safety of firefighters, after the safety of the casualties, okay, the safety comes back to the community. So if there's a risk of a chemical explosion, okay, from cylinders, we'll put a cordon in, the police will put a cordon 500 metres radius What will happen then is the incident will escalate, so you'll probably have about 10 fire engines here, maybe 15, okay? All the police will be here, the environmental agency will be here as well, okay? So we work with our partner agencies, and it's the same in prevention-based activities. If we go into someone's house and they tell us that they're alcoholic or they need help, we can signpost them to our relevant partners and obviously get them support, get them assistance. So if you are going through that and you want to talk to us after, let us know, guys. Also remember, guys, to have 2 working smoke alarms in your property as well. Really important. Smoke alarms save lives. Simple as. If you need any free ones, come and speak to me after, and I'll give you some information surrounding it. But obviously, going back to road traffic collision, you can see Matt, the incident commander, giving instructions. He will physically get involved in what the firefighters are doing. He's just there to oversee what's going on, making sure that they're making the good choices, the right decisions. So the roof's come off, they're going to put it in a safe area, and then they can concentrate more on the casualty. So the roof's coming off, you can see the communication, okay? We're going to put it down, point the side, obviously having a lot of space to go, but normally they put that out. There you go, just put it out the way. Superb. I'll take my word back. So, the paramedic here is supporting the casualty, okay? Obviously got their hands behind their ears, trying to keep them in that neutral position, okay? So we're going to get the long body, which is commonly known as a spinal cord, okay? What they're going to do, they're putting these protectors on because obviously sharp edges, okay? There might be glass in that vehicle, there may be sharp metal pieces, there may be something that could pose a risk to us, or to the paramedics, or to the police at any stage. Because there's been a fatality, or if there's a serious injury, the police will close the road because they have to investigate it. That will be a crime scene. So they've closed the road, the police have. So the casualty now will be feeling alone. The casualty will be in safe hands now. Okay, the main thing is that she's alive. The main thing is that she's got the right people here. So remember, when you make that emergency call 999, okay, think about your location. If you don't know where you are, think about your landmarks around you. Every firefighter will know the topography. So if you ask me a question in Coventry, Wolverhampton, Walsall, Stourbridge, I'll be able to tell you exactly where it is, okay, because I'll study where that location is, what the landmarks are around them, etc. Also, tell them what's happened, okay? So if, say for example, this one here, there's 2 cars involved, and I think someone's been trapped, someone's lying in the road, okay? We'll send the right people at the right time to the right place, and that's all we need to do, okay? If there's a house fire, okay, and you're out of the property, always get out, stay out, call the fire service out. If you know that fire started downstairs, tell us, because we'll send 2 fire engines there. If it started upstairs, it's harder to control, so we'll send 3 pump rescue ladders there, okay? Because we need resources, we need to contain the fire as soon as possible. But if there was a multi-vehicle pile up here, say there was another 4, 5 vehicles involved, we'd have to send probably about 6, 7 fire engines to get there. What you can see, the big red fire engine is called the pump rescue ladder. Obviously it's got the ladders on, okay, and that's the common fire engine that we've got. At Walsall, Highgate and Coventry, we've got a pump only. So pump only is obviously for water supply. But what you'll see a lot in your community now, these BRVs, brigade response vehicles, these are miniature fire engines. You've probably seen it in Fireman's Sam when you've been sitting at home watching it, okay? So basically, it's a smaller fire engine, it's got the same equipment on, not as much as the pump rescue ladder, but basically that'll go to a smaller inserts. So what we call smaller inserts, grass fires, where it's harder for that to get to the location of PRL, the pump rescue ladder, okay? That'll go to AFAs, all automated fire alarms in old people's homes, in hospitals, okay? The crew will get there, they'll check out if there's a fire. If there is a fire, okay, what they'll do, they'll radio through to fire control and say we need more resources, okay? If there is a fire, we'll send a pump rescue ladder, okay? We've also got 3 business support vehicles, so if the fire alarm's in the wrong place, we can give advice to hospitals, we can give advice to elderly people, homes, etc., on where to locate them. Think about if we identify any risks in there, we can obviously inform them. Okay, so the longboard's gone in now, guys. Okay, we're working very quickly. It's taken so far probably about 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Okay, so what you can see is we're lowering the seat. We'd have to put the seat belts out so they don't obviously get in the way. We'll have to isolate all the airbags because if they go off, they come out at 180 miles per hour. Okay, and it may injure us. Alright, so the seat's gone down to obviously get the casualty down into that position onto the longboard. We will lift her out in a second. We're going to lift her up onto that in a neutral position, very methodically. And that. Obviously, don't do what these guys are doing, tweet at the scene. Okay, think about the casualty, be sensitive to the casualty. Obviously, think about the family if they see that. Think about if it was you and you're not looking the same way and you see that on social media or your family, they're going to be upset, aren't they? They're going to be devastated. So try and refrain from doing that, guys. Obviously today you can, but I'm just saying out there in the real world. So she's still got oxygen on, okay? We're supporting her, we're getting her onto the longboard and we're going to remove her, we're going to strap her down onto the spine board and we're going to remove her and obviously then she'll go straight into the ambulance, okay? Some people, like that motorcyclist, aren't quite lucky, okay? But that young lady is, she's alive, okay? Okay, she may lose her independence, but she's alive, and that's what we prioritise, being alive, and then prevent the situation from getting any worse or injuries from getting any worse. So what we're doing now is we're liaising with our ambulance colleagues. They'll tell us exactly what they want us to do, where they want that casualty to be taken. So that's taken around about 18 minutes so far to do. Casualty will go to hospital, and what we say, guys, is this: we call it the golden hour. From when we get that phone call at the fire station, okay, and the powers go down to when we turn out, okay, the fire service, the ambulance service and the police have 1 hour to get that casualty to hospital, okay. That involves turning up at the scene, setting up the equipment, getting the casualty out of the vehicle and getting them off to hospital, okay. If we get them to hospital in under 1 hour, their chances of survival will increase. Now, for every minute after that hour it takes for them to get to hospital, their chances of survival will decrease, will fall very dramatically. So we call it the golden hour. So if you are driving and you do see an emergency vehicle, don't panic, because we're trained to obviously be aware of other road users, okay? Don't panic, guys. When it's safe, just pull over, okay? Sometimes we might come down the wrong direction, okay? Just be aware, and that's why we're saying as drivers, be alert, obviously focus on everything that's going on around you. Think about what you're doing in that vehicle, your behaviours. Try not to be distracted. Let the fire engine, let the police, let the ambulance service pass. Okay? That will obviously improve that casualty's life if they are struggling to breathe. So we've got them onto the stretcher. This young lady's off to hospital. If she has got spinal injuries, as I said in the presentation, she won't be able to walk again. She may have to rely on her parents, her family, to take her places. Also, they'll have to look after her. She'll lose all that independence. Obviously, wheelchair, people that are disabled have a lot more, due to technology, they've got a bit more independence, but they still have to rely on the support of people. And if you've got brain damage, it may affect your communication as well. That's true. So the casualty is safe to go. So we've done that in 20 minutes. Okay. What I'd like to do, give it up for West Midlands Fire Service. Give it up for West Midlands Ambulance Service. And give it up for West Midlands Police as well, guys. Thanks very much. Okay. So, does anyone know what LOL means? Does anyone know what LOL? Can you just, what does it mean? It means laugh out loud to you. For us, it means loss of life. Okay? So hopefully, we never